Hello, folks. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday, and you've all buckled your seatbelts for the incredible amount of snow we're going to get. If you're in Nova Scotia or Newfoundland, that is. Like Honeycomb in the chat. I don't think I ever knew that you were from Newfoundland. That's awesome. And yes, to answer your question about whether Nova Scotia will have a wind warning, a rain warning, a snow warning, a more wind warning, a high wind warning, and a high tide warning, all before tomorrow. I'm sure of it. And if you're wondering what Nova Scotia is and where that is, you should find a map for folks that don't know. That's where I live. And winter is real around these parts in Canada. So it's going to be an interesting evening, but it's not supposed to start until about dinner time. So I've got plenty of time to stream without the threat of losing power and stuff. If you're new to the channel, my name is Joel Duggan, and this is the Citadel. It's a survival Minecraft server where I do geeky stuff in Minecraft with my friends. And last time we were working on this, which is the main keep in the town. This is very much open like terrain here. We haven't done a whole lot of planning. You can see a couple of cobblestone blocks here that are indicating that there might be a road that comes down this way, but really have not thought a lot about it yet. One thing I do want to address though is this wall down here and some of our plans for the new wall that we started yesterday. You can see we have a couple of loose outlines over here, and so we're going to do that. And if you're new to the channel and you're wondering why I sound familiar, it might be because I am one half of the Spawn Chunks podcast with Pixel Roofs. We do that on Mondays, and we'll be doing a new one tomorrow all about the new snapshot with the cave plants, the spore blossom and the glow berries and glow vines and all kinds of cool stuff. Anyway, I feel like today I want to work on, I think, this wall over here. We should really kind of smooth out this whole section, now that I think about it. We should just take all the grass and just move it down to a height that we like. Make this make more sense. Yesterday, at the end of the stream, we did this little bit here. And I like it. I think it works very well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. I hate thinking about how much work it's going to be to remove all this, but I think once we actually do it, we'll probably be in better shape. So I should probably go up top here. Hold on. A15 paper. Hello. How's it going? Rescue the cows in the water. Yeah. They've been kind of stuck there for months, right? So this is going to stop about here. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so right here. Good news is that we could use the stone. I guess we did just go get more yesterday. Either way, we'll be good here. Should probably do this too. I'll leave this here at the base just in case we want to put something here, but I don't think we're going to have that issue. Really excited for the next spawn chunks. Oh, cool. Yeah, I am too, actually. It's we should maybe try to do that before the end of the stream today. I should try to pop into the snapshot. So I'm just going to leave this here in a ring as like there could still be something here. We were talking about putting a different kind of tower there yesterday. It's funny, these go up so much faster than they come down. What I should do is just remove like about 3 or 4 blocks here and then get a feel for what it looks like. I feel like it's going to look taller, which is going to be cool. Jazz plays MC. Hello, how's it going? Doing well? Same old, same old? Oh. It's only these ones. I'd like to extend this part of the ground anyway. It'd be essential. Nice change. Alright, so what does this look like from down here when this wall is curved in? Yeah, I like that better. I like this nice bit of ground that'll be in between everything. We might have to change the shape of this a little bit, but I like the concept of it. We might have to make it wider. I think we might have to make it like 5 wide. Dude, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of this today. A lot of just like moving some big pieces of plan. Big walls, roads. I'd like to build something more, you know, finite, but I still don't have a really good idea about what I want to do for the church. I did find one image that I like that's got a couple different things about it. But I think we'll just blitz through this. Just temporarily have it look like that. Maybe we'll reduce this a little bit. Just so it doesn't look terrible, terrible. Yeah, I quite like that. Oh, I'm in here with the cows. You are free if you can find the way out. Now let's go back up and look at the wall again. Hoping for new generation coming in snapshots. Not this snapshot, I don't think. I shouldn't say don't think. I know. They didn't change the generation in this snapshot. They will make a big deal about that. I think when they make, I'm assuming they have to. I'm assuming they have to. Well, let's just assume that they have to do a snapshot with the terrain generation changes. I would imagine there'll be an awful lot of pomp and circumstance around that. They will be very careful to let people know, please back up your worlds before you try the snapshot. Like, don't just rush in. Like, because I think they'll want to make sure that people don't have a bad experience. And but they're also going to want feedback. I think they're going to want like a lot of feedback about it. So, you know, I think I am going to have to make this wider up here. So I think it'll make our lives a lot easier. I need to bring a bed down here. Let's do this. A water zoo? Oh, in the... Whoa, no! That was the floor. I hope I caught that. I didn't realize this was only a one thick floor. Yeah, the view is really nice. There's a big stream delay. I've already slept through the bed. Does anybody know if the stream is still being promoted on Twitch via the Stream Boost challenge? Let's put you right here. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to push this out just a little bit and make it well, that's 4 wide. And that actually looks pretty good. Maybe we'll do 4 into 5. I think that'll work. Maybe we have to go up by 2 at the top as well. So the way that I, oh, fell down here. The way that I usually plan this stuff is I try to create some sort of order where you've got like 4 or 5 here, then it goes down to 2. We've got 2 there, and can't really go any farther because of how tight this corner is. And this is actually a 5. So then we'd want to do, I guess, this. And then that doesn't work. Whoops. It sort of works. Getting closer. Except for this has to be there. Which should make this that. Saw it in the channels? Oh, cool. Around a child. Hello, child. That's funny. I need more slabs. Shoo. Oh, that was supposed to be here. And this goes there. Probably don't need stacks upon stacks of dirt. 4 would be good. That. Don't need all of these right now. We do, however, need stairs and andesite slabs. Luckily, it's my child. It would be weird if it wasn't. Yeah, that's fair. And hi back. I'm glad that glad you folks are having a good time on a Sunday watching some streamings. So I wouldn't be opposed to just making this 4 wide. It's not going to go there. I feel like this maybe has to come back a bit. Because then we can take this down. It goes down to here. Then we can put another stair block here. They're pretty steep stairs, I will say. Yeah, it's a bit much. Doesn't look as nice either. Hey Joel, I know you from the Spawn Chunks and I really like what you're doing. Keep going. Oh, thanks very much. I'm glad you like the Spawn Chunks and I'm glad you like the server content so far. I wonder if these should just all be consistent the whole way down. Because that does not look very nice. Going up here. I think for visuals we might have to change it to stone brick. But also, I'm not particularly liking this. So I'm thinking here, we can come out like that. And maybe we have to go even farther. I wonder if I just made it wider in here, if it would solve all of our problems. Gives us more room, that's for sure. I'm not sure if I like these big pointy parts to the stairs. But I'm not sure what else we could do. That's not bad. That's better. Getting there. A little bit easier to go up and down now. Slabs might help the pointy parts. That's an excellent point. Or counterpoint. Or anti-point. What do you have against points? You're right. This one. In case you're wondering, that was my technical searching noise. You need to do it in order to find things faster. If you search silently in your shulker boxes, it takes twice as long. Hey, Alistair, how's it going? Editing audio. Oh, nice. I know what that's for. Good stuff. Did the recording go well? I guess we could try slabs here. Actually, that's okay. And then you were saying slabs, places like that. I think you're right. This might need to be higher. In which case... Oh, that's an odd place to have that door. I'm surprised I didn't move this wall more forward. There was probably a reason for that, because that's an obvious thing. So I'm not going to mess with it, but... Grab all that stuff. One Moto Man, hello. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Right, so this is a weird hole here. Because this is going to be a stair, I think. I think I want it to curve out farther this way. Nope. It's steep, but it'll do. And then along here, I guess we should think about what it looks like from inside too, although you can't really see it. Well, that looks fine. Looks like a wall. I'm not sure this dirt is going to be here. I'm not sure what houses and buildings we're going to be putting back here, but I'm sure it'll be covered up or dug out or something. So I'm pretty happy with the shape of this. I'm a little bit perplexed as to why I didn't center the wall, but I think I added width here, and that's why. It was probably centered before. This is a little bit finicky, but there's not a heck of a lot we can do here. We can try a slab, but it's not the best. I don't know whether this would look good with a double. This might not look good out here. No, that's not good. The medieval torture chamber. I guess I'm not sure where we're going to put that. Be an interesting build. Yeah, I'm going to remove this back down to where it was. I guess slab is the only way to go. Okay, well, let's go get some stone bricks, because I think that'll make a big difference. Need those, need those. Grab those. Some of those, some of those. Thanks very much for the follows, folks. And Ice300Q has subscribed with Prime for 5 months in a row. It's going very well. Thank you very much. Sorry I didn't see that earlier. That must have been just as I went live. Appreciate the support. Right, so leave those like that, but I think what we'll do is we'll change. Just going to be careful to just, I like the shape that we've got, but I want to replace things with the right blocks. So I'm thinking like maybe get away with a little andesite there. We could maybe even do like a full block. Just so it has a little bit more texture, you know? Makes it easier to see when you're climbing the stairs, I think, too. I wonder if that would be better as a slab. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, it makes it easier to see what's wall and what's staircase. That feels a little bit strange, so maybe we'll switch that out to be different color. Yeah, that frames it up a little bit nicer, I think. We can do the same thing here. Cool. And then we can maybe dab in a little andesite here. And maybe a little up here. Maybe not quite right there. Cool. Now, since we have all the stone on us, we might as well just put a stone floor in here. I'm not exactly sure what will be in here, but we might as well get rid of the grass so it doesn't feel so amateur here. Is this an outside wall? It is. Okay. Hey, Brody, how's it going? Is the plan for this place to fill it with villagers? Nope. I don't like villagers. I don't want them near anything I'm building. I feel like there could be rooms in here, but we'll leave it as a big open room for now. And I guess the easiest thing is just going to be to straight up fill it with stone bricks and then texture it after that. Although, how are we doing stone floors? I don't know how I'm... I mean, I've got these fancy things. I'm not doing that in there. We've got... We did it in here, I think. Yeah, okay. Oh, so it's mostly cracked and cobble. I like that better. Cracked, cobble, andesite. I love how many doors we have to go in and out of this place now. It's awesome. I don't feel like I have to fly around all the time. Like a big communal base? Yeah. No, it's going to be... the basement is going to have player storage. We've got a... let's just do a quick flyby here. We've got a barn over here that has a basement for all kinds of like shared resources and stuff. But it's small, obviously. And so we want to have something larger. And the hill underneath this thing is mostly hollow. There's a couple of caves and there's a big space. I'll fly into it over here when we go back. But I need... what do I need? I needed andesite. I needed cracked bricks. I needed cobble and gravel, I think. I've seen the villager breeder run the server before, Joel. I feel like the feeling is mutual. Yep. There's a mutual dislike. Oh, here's the underneath. So there's the kitchen has got a staircase down here, and like this is all open. And the cave is just over there. So we can turn this into a storage system, I think. Should be good. Let's refresh my memory here. So it's about 50-50 cobble and cracked. Okay. That gets us part of the way there pretty quickly, huh? So now we just grab some andesite and some gravel and be a little bit more picky. Oops. Doesn't take very long at all. Call that good. Put the torches back up. I feel like there were torches in here, but they have fallen down. Obviously, this is just a temporary place to sleep when it gets dark for now, but cool. So I'm going to say that that wall and the staircase feels pretty good. We'll switch this out, though. That's probably why the torches were gone. Yeah, that's great. So now you can get up into the castle from in here, which is also unfinished. I love that fact that you can, it feels like a first-person shooter map, you know? In like one of those World War II FPS, like Call of Duty or something, where you can just walk from one building to the other without having to go outside. Like those old ruined, like Eastern European maps. Cool. All right, that's that part done. I have no idea what's going to happen over here. Maybe we should work on this road. So I feel like there should be a certain amount of like space. I feel like we're going to remove this. I feel like from the walls to whatever the next building is, there should be like a certain amount of like negative space so that people can't get up on top of a roof and something and, you know, try to attack sort of idea. So I feel like what we should do is have the road go right up against what we feel is the limit of that radius. That way it's not confusing. So we might push the road a little bit more this way. So what do we think is a good distance? I'd say probably about here. So what is that? One, two. Well, let's just do it this way. I think that's probably good. So we've got one there, two there, three there. And then that makes sense, I think. So how does that look from above? Hey, not bad. That actually is pretty spot on for what I would expect. We might go 2 here. I feel like that makes sense. This would all be just flat. Right down at the bottom here. I can maybe see a little thing there for fun. So let's on this, we'll remove all of this. We'll try to get the road to go as close to that edge as we can. Oh, there's the cave. Didn't know whether or not he had finished the wall yet. Who, me? Boop. I think I missed your comment, Bask. Sorry. And thanks for the lurk, 40 Thieves. Great to have you here. Never noticed the flowers coming in from below. Nice. Okay, so I think the road kind of swings wide here, and I think I want to curve it back. So what we want to do is, rather than having a lot of empty space here, I can put a building here, but I want to cover up as much of this as I can here with the road. So previously I had the road curving way out this direction. You can see the road was going out this way. And I think now I want to take it tightly in here. So we'll start with this section right here. And the way that we've been doing the roads is that they have like a smooth stone side to them. Right? So smooth stone side, and then it starts in with bricks. I don't know how we're going to texture the roads. I still haven't figured it out. I think there's going to be an awful lot of... I wish I could use cracked bricks, but I can't because you have to go up and there's no slabs to do that. So what we'll do here is probably start like right here. Right to there. Do 3 here. And then pick up right there. Perfect. And I'm going to drop this down and use... should use something else there for the edge. Temporarily, maybe we'll use coarse dirt. So as 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's 4. Interesting. I thought that was 5. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, so the idea being that we're not going to have any buildings any closer than this line to the wall. Line will probably not stay, but that's fine. So that still leaves a good chunk of road here, even though we've brought it in as close as we can. And for here, we'll just go, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the other one. So grab the bricks. And usually you have to back up by 2 blocks so that this doesn't look awkward. Oops. And that should feel pretty good. We might have to make some tweaks. Yeah, so right here. So I'm thinking that we'll have to figure out what other buildings are going to go out here too, because that will affect how we plan this area. And this is a weird sort of situation where the wall is much lower. And so you kind of want to have some sort of courtyard. I figured that this flat section of wall here, it might even be good to incorporate a building like almost as part of the wall and have like, not something that's tall, but like a barracks would be here, I think. So like something like, you know, just like 3 or 4 blocks tall with a roof on it. I just don't want to block this too much. Or a stables. Actually, a stables would be good here. I guess stables could be closer to the entrance as well. I actually don't know. I feel like there's a few things about medieval towns that I need to look up. Yeah, an open courtyard for sure. Like the space in front has to be open. In the same way that like this is open, you know? Because we could put a stables here, which would make sense. Like if you need to stable your horse as soon as you get into town sort of deal. That would make sense actually. And it's a nice big space. Yeah, we've seen that video and we've talked about that on the Spawn Chunks, Ani. It's a good video. Cub gave some good thoughts. Yeah, so I think the road would get a little bit wider here. So we know we would come out here again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. And I'm thinking like somewhere along there, I really kind of want to center it on this wall to have some sort of building there. So where would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the middle. So we could have something centered there. And even if this was like, I don't know, like this. with a roof on it. It's going to block, I think, some of our view. Oh no, it wouldn't be too bad actually. You can give some layers to it maybe. Depends on how high we make it. Because there could be some... I'm not sure what would be a good spot to be like directly across the way. But I feel like this could open up. This could go almost straight across. Like now that we're here, I feel like we can come over to here, find the center of this. Which I've obviously filled in. So that's 7. So we do 7 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's the open sort of courtyard, leaving room for something along here. Several things along here, actually. And then I think the road would curve down. I think once we get to here, the road would start to curve down this way. And this is where I think I might have to go get a bucket of water and just clear out a lot of this foliage and stuff. That could be the next phase of things. Do I have full inventory? Yeah, we need to get rid of some stuff here. Grab those, and I'll grab those. All right. If you're new to the channel, I take a break about once an hour to give my eyes a rest, refresh my coffee. My coffee is broken. It needs a new one. So I'm going to go do that. You can hang out here and chat. You can give yourself a rest, whatever you'd like to do. I will see you folks in about 5 minutes or so. Be right back. All right. Sleep time? Nope. Looks like we're okay. Oh, hey. Alistair's online. Looks like he's AFK. Creeper? No thanks. Where did you go? He just vanished. And one Moto Man, you mentioned a guard house or guard tower. Maybe not tower, but guard house would be good. I think you're right. I think a guard house could even go. I'm not sure where it would go. Like right here, maybe? That might make sense. We could put something closer to here, too. What I'm thinking about right now is just like what's going to go in this space and how the road is going to go. And so I think what I'll do is I think we're finally going to have to move Mount Shulker Box here. So I'm going to pack this stuff up. One of these had, there we go. Those go back in there. Oh. And what we'll do, I think, is just start with these ones. And get them all back in the shulker box, or in the ender chest. Because some of them I don't need all the time. There's the creeper. I wish you could get a bow that would one-shot a creeper. I feel like that would save me a lot of grief. Oh, that doesn't go in there. Wool box. Bones, glass. Backpack. And other glass. Now some of this stuff we're going to need, so I'm not going to put it back in the ender chest. We're just going to... The stone and the grass and things we're going to continue to use. So I can pick up these things. Get rid of that. And I guess the logical place to set up would be inside here, right? So maybe we'll just put it all back down here. Starting with you there. And then we'll put crafting table. That there, and then ender chest in between. And then we can just go right back to laying out all the stone stuff, which is gravel box. I don't think I need right away. Stone, yeah, so we'll do stone, cobblestone. Actually, we'll do andesite here. You spend so much time going back and forth. It's nice to actually organize it briefly. And then we'll do gray, shulker box, cut stone. So we've got blackstone. Right, so we'll do this, that, and sure. Quartz, I don't know if we'll need. Blue bin, we should put that over here. bone meal. And then grass and coarse dirt. And then wood. We'll start the wood over here. And sandstone, I guess, will just be over here. All right. I feel better. I need to grab my iron box again. Noises in my ears. I'm not paying attention. Rabelais, subscribe with Prime for 14 months. Thanks so much. Glad that you are around, my friend. Fantastic to have you. There comes a point in every man's life, or every woman's life, when they have to move their chess monster. Yep. I would agree. Although I need to bring blocks with me if I'm going to start doing this. So we need... That is not a convenient spot for this. Let's switch. Okay, those, and probably some water from over here. I guess this could be bigger. I'm not really sure yet. Depends on how big that house is going to be. And this might actually be better off as stone bricks now that I look at it. Anyway, this seems to be the easiest way to do this. I confess I don't do this very much. What are we working on today? We've been working on the front part of the... We finished off this wall. We trimmed up the wall here. Left the tower blueprint just in case we need it for later. So this wall was over here, and then now it's there. And then now we're up kind of trying to get the road... I didn't want to bring the road too close because I feel like the space here, this temporary line, should be kept free. You know, like you don't want tall buildings next to your tall wall because that defeats the purpose. So I don't want to build anything within this arc. So we'll have to come up with a couple of buildings that'll go here. Just some houses, you know, something similar to this, you know. But I moved the road. We're thinking about what to put here. I think one Moto Man suggested a guardhouse, but that I don't want the guardhouse to be this big, so we'll have to put a guardhouse and then something else. Not entirely sure. But now I'm thinking about where the road has to go, and I'm thinking about all this stuff. I'm not sure what's faster. You know? I'm not sure what's faster. It's probably faster than walking around punching everything. Just spamming everywhere. It sucks on hills. Like why it's not working here, I don't know. See? Faster. Oh, that's my coffee being ready. Hold on. I'll finish this up here. I'll go find some place to sleep. Wouldn't want any of these flowers to despawn. Cosmic would have my head. Surprisingly, there was more. I thought there was more flowers. Maybe I picked them up. Yeah, there's 16 in my inventory. I must have picked them up. Okay, time to go sleep again. See, someone was asking earlier about what we're going to do. Like, there's a lot of space underneath here. So we're going to be able to do some decent player storage, I think. What? Oh, that was close. All right, just give me a couple of minutes. I just have to go pour my coffee. It's ready. It's in the kitchen. I'll be right back. All right. Gotta give a quick shout out to everyone in the chat today, actually. This is the third day in a row that I think we've had up over 75 viewers. Very quickly, too, which is great because I'm hoping to be able to apply for partner soon, which I think would be a great way to grow the emotes and a few other things on the channel. And it's easy to help out. If you're here or if you want to lurk, then that just helps get those viewers up, right? Costs you nothing. And if you were interested in supporting the stream, then you can also check out Patreon. That'll do both. Allow me to stream more often and help me get towards partner. Because of course, if you're supporting, you're more than likely watching. Right, so I think that's good. I have to go around this way a little bit. There are some things about early Minecraft, just that early collection of stuff that I do miss sometimes. You know, sometimes it's nice when you come up with a fun way to do the same old farming, you know, wheat thing that you always do. That's all going to get filled in. I guess some of these I should be collecting with shears, but Alright, I think that's far enough for what I need to do today. So that actually didn't take very long at all. So now we can clearly see where a potential road is going to go. Stream team. Why does our co-streams better when partnered? Yeah, why will that be easier? I admit that I am probably going to be sticking to Minecraft and trying to get the average viewers up until... I was thinking, actually, a really cool thing to do if I can apply for... And I mean, this could be months away. I don't know when Twitch is going to say, oh, you've, despite all the, time that you've streamed, you've finally... have averaged 75, viewers. I still have low streams from Christmas, I think. Well, no, I guess we'd be past that now. But I still have some low streams from January, from Oxygen Not Included, that are pulling the average down. Okay, so. I guess I should finish my thought about partner, shouldn't I? I was just about to go right back into building. But what I was thinking is that I have owned and have not played Stardew Valley for years, and it just got a big update over the holidays, and I have it all prepped and installed, and I thought that would be a kind of a fun, I don't know, maybe we can, it doesn't necessarily have to be a stream partnership, but we could do like the 200 sub goal, we could do something, but I could do Patreon, I don't know. I want to do something goal related where we can sit down and do Stardew Valley, but I feel like it would be best to do it after the partner thing, because I want to keep the viewership up, and Minecraft seems to be the key to do that right now. What time do I stream on weekdays? I don't. It's very seldom. The only time I've been streaming weekdays is when I find out that Twitch is doing the stream boost. I often will stream at the end of the day on the Friday, so like 4 p.m. my time. And what's the other thing? Sometimes I stream on Mondays if there's a stream boost thing. Elkhorn, hello, the mighty Elkhorn. What are you talking about? What's newish? Oh, they provide a built-in multi-stream view for people in a stream squad. Oh, neat. Do you have to be a partner? One person to be partnered and for them to set up a stream squad. Oh, that would be cool, Alistair. Yeah, I'd love to do that after I get straight partnered. I say that like, I mean, I hope it's going to happen, but I've seen people like Stenos take months and months to get partnered. Like, and he's a really creative, very good dude. And streamed daily, which I can't do. Okay. So for building a lot of this place, I've been trying to stick with the landscape. So I see that it goes downhill here, but in a very kind of jagged way. So I think what I'd like to do is start around here, right? And I think I want to swing this around in a nice arc, which means we probably will want to continue this logic this way. I have been doing this all double thick, by the way, and I'm just kind of being stingy about it here. Oh, that is wall. It's about time we finish this anyway. torches down there? Some. Not what I would consider enough. So here, there's a couple of landmarks. We've got this tower, of course. So that would be a good spot to have like a hill kind of match up to it. The other spot would be the edge of the moat. And so maybe we have to do the same thing we did over here on this side. It's probably a good idea, huh? Let's do that. I need coarse dirt. Wow, okay. Let's do 2 of those, and gravel is back in here, I think. Oh, that's really cool, mini packs. Who did you meet? I missed the initial conversation. Sounds like an addition to the family. So we had a 3 at the start of the first one. So here would be I think that's right. 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this distance was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see if we got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We did not get that right. How did we not get that right? I need to come up with a good street light design for this place too. So it's 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Seriously? Thanks, Cosmic. That's nice of you to say. And yes, welcome into everyone that's new. I guess I should mention, if you're wondering who the heck I am and you've just tuned into the channel, my name is Joel Duggan, as you've probably figured out. I do the Spawn Trunks podcast with Pixariffs. I'm a variety streamer here, and we play an awful lot of Minecraft right now, but I'm liking it, so we're going to keep doing it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this is on, there's 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, that goes there. So this is shaped different then. Yeah, okay, that's why. This has got a different shape than that mode. That's fine. Okay, well that's a different ballgame altogether. How many... Right, I have to figure out how many blocks this was. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5. Okay. That'll be easier to figure out. I'd much prefer this be asymmetrical. 1, 2, 3. 4, and then 5. So I think we can do that. And I guess that would be there. Whoops. See how that looks from above. I'd say that's probably about right. Sure. So we'll just put this here. So what I'm thinking is that this would be a point where we would attach more grass, and then we would make the hill start to go downhill from that point there. Are you welcoming old people in as well? Oh, maybe. Did I say young people? I meant new people. Who you calling old, Macast, right? And you're only a couple of years ahead of me, Macast. We won't get into discussing ages, but you're only a little bit ahead. I don't think I need these water buckets right now. Oh, old as opposed to new. Oh. That's how you can tell I'm old, because I went straight to age instead of newness. So I'm thinking if we just kind of go along here, give that just a little bit of room, we could use this as what will be the edge of things. Although I guess we might want to think about how big the courtyard is. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, okay. So if this is the edge, let's just say there. That's supposed to be wall. This will be good for our storage system too, because we've got a lot of grass kicking around. Right, so if that's there, I think that's probably a decent... It's hard to see from up here, but that's, you know, I don't want it to go down too steep, so from here we're going to push out a lot further. We'll go out probably to this wall. Now, did we make this a... This is indeed a mob trap. Right, do that. So all this would be filled in. But then somewhere around here in the middle of this would be a good spot to have another curve. And it'll be tighter here but that's fine. I feel like we could probably bring it around to about there. So somewhere's here would be this level. And we'll go another 2 there, and then start to curve in a little bit. Two, 3, 4, 5. This should be okay. Either way, it'll be a lot easier to shape once we have all the tiers at the nice even level. Whoops. More than half as old as you think. Nice, Mattcast. You see a very similar chore in your future? Oh, with the grass planting and stuff? Or not planting, but landscaping? Do you have a plan for the medieval zone, Mattcast? Are you going to do something in the area? Oops. Am I out of grass? I'm out of grass. Yeah, we've been having some issues with the grass storage being a problem. And honestly, we're probably going to have to go with some dirt here. Plus, placing dirt is easier on the ears. Like, big time. Oh, placing dirt and rock? Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing that's going to happen a lot, I think. This particular side is going to need a lot of love. There's a lot of holes in it, like this. Normally when I do this, I try to do things that are like in twos, like make it too thick. And I will probably want to come in here and fill it in, but I'm also thinking that I don't know what houses are going to be here, and if any of the houses have basements, it might be better to not fill it in right away. I need to get rid of the potion room box now. So I need to create a mountain. Oh, I see. Yeah, the potion room sticks out the other side. You want to do like a 3D. Well, if anybody's got tips on building mountains, whip and pixel riffs, you've got some reference videos for sure. So, how is this road going to go? Because that should affect where we're going to do the slants. Yeah, I think the road's going to curve this way. So we should probably think more about the road before we get too much farther. This kind of stuff just bugs me. You can make fun of me all you want, but Joel does not like. Okay, get out here. Cool. Get that done. It's nice that we have a whole range of dirt and grass nearby. That barn that I showed on earlier on stream is just full of stuff that we've dug up from shaping the farmland. That would be a nice break, actually, in the next coming streams to go back and work on that wheat field, that second part of the wheat field. Oh, that's all coarse dirt. Okay. See how much louder that grass sound is compared to the dirt sound? I really need to get off my butt and fix that. Okay, so this is still looking steep because obviously we've increased the height of everything. So I feel like we might have to change the path of this, but there's probably going to be a line that goes this way, I think. So this is where we have to stop and think about where the road's going to go. And I really think it's going to curve this way more. So it's probably going to go, not even that, 3. Does that feel right? Yeah, actually it does. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how that looks. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. And then maybe it would start to curve around. The other hard part here is that, I mean, we're going to fill this in. I just need to go get more dirt. Let's just bring the whole shulker bus. Shulker bus? That's not a word. Shulker box. Casually build a mountain? Nice. The wizard tower is epic. Is there a wizard tower in the meadows now? Why do some of the grass blocks show up green on the sides? That's Optifine. If you put a grass block here, it connects the textures. I wish Minecraft did that, and I wish there was a better rule for it. I would love to have 2 different blocks. I would love to have a craftable all over grass block and then this thing. I'm not a big fan of that. I find that the dirt sides on things look really awful. But it's not an easy thing to fix. And you can do like a combination. There's a great little thing on Vanilla Tweaks where they meet you halfway and they do lower sides. So this grass line actually is like down here. There's still a little bit of dirt, but I think, you know, the fact that, I mean, that dirt block, that image right there is such an iconic Minecraft thing. I mean, it'll never change. So this is the part where we were talking the other day about I'm not sure where the wall's going to go. There is the other tower we put in right over here. And so we might have to think about how the wall is going to connect and if that tower is going to stay there. But what I think we'll do is think about how tall this tower is from here. It looks like it is, where are we here? 71. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's call it 13. And from 71, so that's 84. I feel like that's probably tall enough, actually. We might change it. So I want to get an idea of how tall this is going to be. And this is a trick that I use when I'm building all the time, where you'll put in a wireframe or an outline of what you want to do, and then just leave it, you know, walk by it as you're building other things in the area. How does it feel? You know, do you see it too often? Do you not see it enough? How does it, you know, line up with the other builds that you're doing? And that way you've not wasted any time building a big structure and then realizing that you've placed it in the wrong spot, or you don't like it, or you realize it needs to be, you know, 3 blocks taller. Saves you a lot of grief in the long run. So I'm glad that I made that lower, because I don't think I'd want it too much taller. I like the dynamic. Plus, I don't want it to be too tall and mess with the view of the mountain. So I think that looks about right. So we can probably outline where the wall's more than likely going to go. Do I have enough stone? I don't. So this wall connects to this part here. So it's 2 in from the side. So we'll do the same thing over here. So it's right in the middle. Okay. So from here, we have to go out to this point. I'd be tempted to do a pretty straight line if we can. So here's an easy way to figure that out. We are currently on, so this is 9169, negative 9169, remember that, and negative 9030, negative 9030, negative 169. Go to the front here, come into, so it's 71, so 41 blocks, and 69 to 80. That's 21. That's more than I thought. Really? No, that's 11. I was like 21, 11. So roughly every 4 blocks, we'll say every 3, we'll have to move up. And that should give us a pretty poker straight line to the other side. Thank you, chat. Appreciate that. Diagonal and Motoman. Too many numbers at once, yeah. So basically, I just took the distance we're traveling north and the distance we're traveling west, and found a common denominator, right? So we've got 11 and 41. So roughly every 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go 3 because they're easier to deal with. And then we'll just kind of mess things around later. We'll see how wrong or right I was. Not too far off. There's a second tree here, I think. Yep. Okay, so come across here. Be 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So I was off by a little bit, but it's a good first go. So at some point we have to switch things around and do 4s, but you'll see it's almost a straight line. Like we got real close. We ended up over here. So I think what we need to do is maybe try something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll just start from there. So that's the easy way to fudge it when you're off by just a little bit, but you're not off by like 10 blocks. You can just increase the first part of the wall to give you a starting point closer to where you needed to be. You could also do the math and just like actually try to get like a lined up perfect, which we could probably do that. Actually, maybe we do 5 here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can adjust as we go. So now we're looking at 78, 67. So now we've gone 8 blocks and 32 blocks. So that's pretty easy. We should be able to do 4s, I think. Another tree. Four there. So we're off by 2 blocks. So maybe what we need to do is just do another set. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll bring this closer. So we'll do 5 here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think sections of 3 are going to be easier anyway, I think. Or 4. I can't remember. think sections of 4 are the easiest. 2, 4, 6, 8. Taking a break is really great. 1, 3, 5, 9, which is good because it's break time. Nice, Cosmic. The break poetry is back. I enjoy it. All right, I do want to figure this out before I take a break, though. So let's just try 3s and see how far that gets us. Nah. I'm not good, folks. That's how that goes. That's how it's done. I'm going to leave that tree there, I think. Hey, little buddy 321. How's it going? Okay, so that is the base of the wall extension. Makes me want to rethink this a little bit. I think that could be straighter. Although I guess it would make sense from like a defense standpoint. You'd want to have this curve so that people that are defending the wall over here can shoot sideways, you know? I guess it makes sense. I feel like I want it to be more symmetrical, but I'm fighting that urge. And then I don't know what this is going to look like from the outside. We probably can't see the wall very well. Well, you can sort of make out where it's going to go. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to make that. But yeah, I don't know. It's a straight line right now. We might want to change it to be something curved. But for now, I think we're doing okay. We can mess with that later if we need to. But why I wanted to do that is because it informs kind of where the changes in the landscape here are going to be. Because I think what I need to do is rate. Let's go. Look at a real world vantage point. Here we go. Yeah. This will work. So you'll see this curve that we made here, and then there's this natural kind of like gradual hill down here. I'd like to keep this pretty flat if I can. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm trying not to completely redesign the landscape. I'm trying to just take what is existing from Minecraft and tweak it to look nicer. But right here, going in this direction, I think we need another level. So kind of using this very steep hill here as a basis. I think we're gonna need like a spoke going off this direction. And I mean, it could be curved. It doesn't have to be straight. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to be more of an S curve because the road is going to come around here and go down through this area. And I feel like that's what there's going to be houses here and houses there. I'd like there to be like a house right there. So we might have to start putting in some outlines. But why I needed this is because I knew that I'd have to have an end point for whatever this new grass line is going to be. And it's probably going to be in a direction sort of like this. So we'll see that on the map. See what I mean? Straight through there. So it's not perfect, but it's close. Kind of gives it a first draft. But we need to go somewheres where I can hang my hat and reheat my coffee. See if I can make this time. Whoa, I almost did it. If you're new to the stream, I take a break about once an hour. Quick coffee break, stretch break. You should do the same. I'll be right back. Oh, the coffee is hot, and that is a good thing. That is a good thing. I don't know if I mentioned, I think we were talking about this the other day in the stream. Somebody in chat is a big fan of the Komodo Dragon blend from Starbucks, which is what I'm drinking today. And she's good. Hitting the spot. So I think what I'll do so we can see what's going on is I'll plan this out with the coarse dirt, and then we'll replace it later. I feel like the moat will have water in it. It's not going to be filled though. It's just going to be like the bottom. So I feel like this is going to have to come down probably pretty steeply. Like here. Whoops. That's about right. I have no idea if this opening is going to be this size or what's going to happen. I'd imagine probably be about here. Because my thought process is if we can have the moat turn into a waterway, like if the moat turns into like a little waterfall here and can go down along this pathway and then into the river, that would be really cool. Perhaps even we can maybe even have it go, I don't know, somehow through the town so that there has to be a bridge over it. That could be really kind of nice too. Maybe we'll curve it down this way. I don't know. This is the fun part about planning, where you just like, it doesn't matter. It's a completely clean slate. You can, you know, rock it however you want. The next step though, I think, is going to be to attach here. So I'd say this is about right. We just have to make this a little bit more appealing. Yes. So this might have to get cropped in. And then this might have to be at this level. How's that looking? Sure. I mean, some of this stuff is going to have to change a number of times, I think. Let's go with this. So the only reason I'm using coarse dirt is just so I can see what I'm doing. Because on the map, it doesn't change to green. Grass won't cover it over. Plus, it shows up as a darker color than dirt, so even against dirt, it's easy to see. Yeah, so I think I need to change the shape of this. I had this coming in too far, so we're going to go out here. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I agree. Coarse dirt is a good marker block, and then while you're actually building the rest of your town, it doesn't look terrible. Like, it doesn't look like you're not using like brightly colored wool. Although wool and concrete is good too, because that really stands out. Like, if you're trying to think about, like, you've got a bunch of different buildings and they're all going to be bricks, you know, and gray and stone, then if you use concrete, then you can kind of differentiate one building from the other. So here we'll do 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see what I'm trying to go for with this hill kind of cascading slowly. And we may have to change this line a little bit. I feel like that might be too far out. Because we've got 2 steps to go yet. Although, I don't know, that feels about even. Oh no, because it's 2 steps. Right. Okay, so we need another situation here. We need something to divide this up better. Let's try that. Now this I'm just kind of guessing at, kind of like eyeballing it in my head. I've been doing it enough times. It sort of comes naturally. Except for I did that the wrong way. Do get turned around sometimes. Hey, how's it going, Moon Girl Art? Good to see you. Good to see you. Boop, boop. So here we'll just do 3, 2, 2, and then 2. 2, 3. Nope. There we go. So it'll be a little bit steep at first, I guess. Sorcerer. Hey, Joel. Loving the spawn chunks. How are you doing today? Good dude. Good dude. Doing great. It's a really quiet day. There's a... I want to make sure I keep that stone, though. There's a storm coming, so it's pretty quiet. People are battening down the hatches, I think. So do we want to move this edge now that we have that edge? And the answer is yes. So we'll just remove all of this. Because the thing you have to remember is that the roads are going to be going down in half steps. So there's another division that has to happen with slabs about halfway through here. And so you don't want it to be too close together. You want to give yourself a lot of space between each tier when you're planning out like what will be a road curving around here. So I feel like I need to go back to the start of the second layer here. And do more from, say, like a... So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3. Oh, this has to be down. My bad. Whoops. I forgot that that's hollow. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that space, but we'll figure something out. Oh, thanks, Sorcerer. I'm glad you like it. First time on one of your streams. Love the podcasts, says Still Not Ginger. Thanks very much. Glad you're liking it. Nope, not that. Not nope to you, nope to the incorrect block placement. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 2, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Three sets of 3. Let's do 2 5s. And we'll just kind of see how that looks. So still feel like it could be, because we only got one step now. So now this is something I think should be quite a lot wider. So we need to do probably singles at the start for a little bit. I'm going to double this up so I'm not constantly coming down here. I think we're out of dirt. We are. Thanks for the lurk, Rabelais. Always great to see you. And I really appreciate you hanging out. Enjoy your breakfast. What's for breakfast? I shouldn't be hungry, but the mere mention of breakfast food just makes me hungry constantly. Oh, I had the shulker box on me. That was dumb. We need to go fill this up. Next time we run out, we'll have to go back to the barn. So I'm still not entirely sure how this is going to look. It's going to be mighty tight. But that. That goes there. Whoa! Ghost block somewhere. Okay, so yes, maybe not that many. Get to here maybe? think we just have to do a lot of these 2s until we get to a point where we can curve it again. For anybody wondering, the way that I usually do this is that you always want to be going up or down gradually in your count. So like right here, we've gone from singles to 2s. So it goes 2 over 1, 2 over 1. And now I'm just going to see how far we can get with this. Because the thing about this is that you go obviously more west than north because you're only traveling at a slight angle. And so like, see, that positions us to be much closer in the line that we're going. So get rid of this. Bedtime again. Joel is always hungry. This is also a true fact. What was that? Who's the comedian that does like the true facts about like nature, animals and stuff? And it's always like the goofiest videos. I can't remember his name. He's got a very odd name too. It's like Quentin or something. He's like an internet personality. Say Frank, thank you. That's totally it. Punish Props, dude, how are you? How long have you been here? I haven't seen you say anything. Have you been here a while? How's it going, man? Just popped in. Dude, that's amazing. I think both you and Joey Image have been commenting on Twitter about the build. This is where we are with it so far. It's coming along nicely. It looks better in the renders. Like the shaders and stuff, but so far so good. Urge to make more stuff in Minecraft thanks to you. Dude, I've had the urge to make things in real life thanks to you. And the fact that I've been playing Destiny for the first time on my new Xbox Series X. And I like it. I'm over my head. Like, it's very complicated. I'm feeling very in over my head. But whenever I see cool stuff in Destiny, I think, Bill's probably made that. Bill's probably made that too. For folks that don't know, you should check out Punish Props on Instagram and YouTube. Same YouTube channel, right? Right, Bill? Punish Props. Punish Props. They do like cosplay and prop. What was it? Is it manufacturing? Fabrication? What do you call? What's the fancy word to use for making stuff? But this is where we are so far with the medieval town. I'm trying not to build any one thing too much. You know, I'm trying to spread the progress around. So right now we're kind of in this early stages of the west part of the city, which is going to be all the rich sort of people. And then the poor people are down here, and then the market and stuff is over here. And so we're kind of like creating the different sections. Prop and costume making. Cool. I mean, I knew what you do, but I didn't know if there was if you had a different term for it. So I think maybe here we can start to go with 3s. So maybe here we can do 3. Then another one. And then see how that looks. Yeah, and then we can curve it the other way. And we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here and go the other way. And see what that looks like. Right, so now we've got this nice tier, and we'll have to see what we can do here to make this a little bit smoother. But It gives us a nice long section here. And again, the road will be divided in two a second time because somewhere along here we'll have to have slabs so that it doesn't go up too steeply. But I think that looks pretty good. What I want to do now is I'm going to replace the edge of this with coarse dirt so I can see it on the map. And I think we're probably going to discover that we need to adjust this as well. Oh, right. Can't do that with dirt. I'm going to have to pick your brain sometime, Punish Props, about Destiny. So I'm liking it, but I was very frustrated with a quest. I think the quest is outdated. It was the salt mines, and I had to go look at a tutorial, and the tutorial was just like, you just have to go down this path and jump on this ledge, and it was like, the path is there, the ledge is not, and I must have died about 12 times just falling through the map and glitching out. So it's obviously some sort of error or change that I just don't know about. And the game did not tell me how to progress. So I think I stumbled upon the solution, but I was not thrilled about it. So yeah, I've got some questions. Zekno, what's going on, man? How are you? Two Worlds Collide moment. Punish Props Academy has been one of my favorite YouTube channels for years now. Thanks for the amazing work you do. Oh, that's awesome. Bill, I should warn you, I brag about knowing you to people. People are like, they talk about like cosplay and stuff. I'm just like, I know Bill. I've met him. I've had a beer with him. All right, so how does this look? Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. It's not as bad as I thought. I think we're gonna have to make this longer here. I think what we'll do is we'll go out by one more. So we'll do and this is finicky and maybe boring to some people, but if you want to know how to build a town, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then like this is kind of the stuff you have to do. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then I think we'll go out one more. Maybe we don't go out that far. Sometimes just 2 blocks will make a big difference. Yeah, I think that works. We need to get back to beers with Punish Props. Oh man. Yeah, I miss you guys too. I wish it wasn't so expensive. And well, and I mean, forget the pandemic, but like getting to California or Utah from here is a long way. And Bill, you're in Washington State, I think. We should just do like a virtual beer or something. That would be cool. Alright, we need grass. Oh, I guess I need to do this first. Dump a bunch of things. That don't need. We can give flowers to Cosmic. Trees. Sticks. Now we can do this. grab some dirt too. We should come to Halifax. Yeah, man. You'd have to spend 2 weeks in quarantine. Canada is not letting people into the country right now. Well, I mean, proper thing, not to make light, but yeah, you would not have much of a vacation. Yeah, virtual would be fun. I've been talking about that with Steven, who streams on the server as well, about just getting together for a virtual beer. But yes, I agree, Mattcast. There's definitely some... Well, I mean, I'll have the extra money because I haven't taken any vacations. I mean, I did just buy a new TV and an Xbox. So that was my vacation for 2020, was like, instead of going on vacation, I invested in some home entertainment. I was showing off your Skyrim cosplay, Punish Props, and some of your Destiny, I think. I don't know Destiny enough to know whether it was Destiny or something else, but it looked pretty Destiny-like. But I definitely showed off your Skyrim stuff recently. I started playing Skyrim for the first time, and my girlfriend's really into it, so I was showing her your costumes. I don't know what they're called. They're like skeleton bad guys with like glowing eyes and stuff. No one shame me for my lack of Skyrim knowledge. It's okay so far. I'm not a huge fan of the way that it controls, but it could be just that I'm just not used to that kind of a thing on an Xbox controller. All right, so all of this is kind of going to get filled in out to here, so this can just be dirt. Right up to here, I guess. We'll leave the details for later. It was mainly the up to the tree line was my main concern. Something that I'd love to get into more is like LED light knowledge. Draugr Death Lords. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds about what they look like. Yeah, they're fantastic costumes. Really, really cool. But yes, I think when I think about that kind of making, you know, that kind of prop making and cool stuff, I think about like the Lego things that I have, and I'd love to learn a little bit more about being able to do like LED wiring and programming and stuff. I have some LED lights in my living room that I've been putting in behind my TV. And it's just a string from Govee, Govee, and they're great little lights. There's an app that controls them. It's really cool. But just out of happenstance, they fell down. They were up temporarily with tape. I haven't fastened them permanently because I haven't decided where I want to put them. And so they came down, and I have Lego on top of my bookshelves. And so I temporarily used the weight of my Imperial Shuttle Tidarium to hold down the light string. And of course the lights were on. So when I went back to look up and grab the lights and move them again, I realized that the lights, like the Shuttle Tidarium is like up here, and the lights were underneath it. So it was lighting the Tidarium from below with this blue LED light, and it was amazing. And I'm telling you, if I ever win the lottery, I am making a Lego city, and I'm going to have LED lights in it for sure. But I'd love to be able to do just like little things like put lights in ships, you know, just to make them light up from below without having to buy like a whole string, you know. Want to make one of those LED masks. Have you heard of Arduino? I've heard of Arduino. I think I've heard about it on this the Daily Tech News show. refresh my memory though, and educate us in chat. I'd like to know more. People make custom LED kits for specific Lego kits. There's a light kit for Ecto 1 Lego kit. That's amazing. Oh, neat. Okay. So if you've got a kit, like you can actually look up like a specific LED. Like if you have a need, you can look up a specific Lego kit and get like LED information about it. Right on. Minipack says, I've been doing some LED work recently for a dollhouse I'm fixing up. Would be similar sort of thing to work than that. Yes, yeah, I would imagine a dollhouse and a Lego house or a Lego city or a spaceship would be very similar. I imagine some people have probably done it for the Millennium Falcon. Hey, Gruff, how's it going? This is the tedious part of Minecraft I'm not always a fan of. Getting there though. Okay, so now that we've got those two layers in place, you can start to see how it'll be a nice gradual slope going down to the next road. And so our next spot is obviously going to be this one. And again, I'm trying not to completely rewrite how things look, you know, with the landscape. I'm just trying to do my best with what's been given. That way we're not creating too much work for ourselves, and you have the nice, you know, process of utilizing the landscape and the challenge of designing your city or buildings or whatever around the landscape. Just like the people that would, you know, if it was supposed to be a realistic town, then they, you know, they weren't landscaping a whole lot, you know, back in like these kind of medieval builds. So let's go for something about here. And I think we'll just do that and then quickly move into other things. How's that look for an initial direction? Yeah, I think I maybe want to start. I thought I was going to need the singles, but I think we'll go straight for these. A little bit more space. And again, it's been hard for me to just kind of wrap my head around, like thinking, oh yeah, I'll do this amount, and then realize, nope, I need to do twice that. Yeah, so here we'll start to 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's the natural Minecraft drop, and I think we're just gonna try and follow that as best we can. Yeah, see how that looks. I'm down with that. What's weird is that some of this is, I mean, a lot of this is going to be covered up with houses, but it just, It makes so much more sense to use the grass and the dirt we have in the storage because, like, we're running out of room in the storage barn for all of this stuff. Oh, thanks, Obsidian. Arduino is like IRL Redstone. Oh, neat. Okay. Is it programming with like for electronics? Is that what it is? I need to just look into it. I mean, not like I have time for yet another hobby. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. Shoot. This is why we use a different color. So it's easier to fix mistakes like this. So I ended up starting on the wrong layer. That's all. Easy fix. And just come along here like this. There we go. I like the bird noises that you get with the mod pack in the taiga forest. Really great. I guess I should leave this sort of open for now. Whoop, nighttime. I should have clued in when I had to put 2 layers of cobblestone there. Arduino is basically a simple platform to control hardware with software with simple code. Really handy for hobby electronics. That sounds precisely like what I would be interested in. Electronics and 3D printer are still in storage in Texas. Oh, Coder Dennis. I mean, on one hand, you're probably happy you're in Sweden, given the last year. But at the same time, I can appreciate the fact that all your cool stuff is not with you. Okay, so that takes care of that layer, and now we just have to look at the next one. And this is obviously going to need a much larger, and this I think is going to be more of a. I think we're going to change here to be more of a curve out. So again, we'll drop down. Make sure we start on the lower level because I haven't been doing that. I'll take a look at that and see how that looks for a potential start to the curve. Oh. Nope, we're gonna go the exact other way. Bridge this little gap here. There's a little gully. And this actually could be really cool. This could be, well, I guess it's a little bit too close to the moat. I was thinking that this would be a good spot for the river to go, but probably not. Yep, I think we're going to switch here to 3. And then fill this in here. Where's my dirt? Quick guess. I think maybe we have to shorten that up. It's pretty good, but we're coming to a pretty steep part. Oh, thanks for linking that, Cosmic. I meant to mention that earlier. Appreciate that. Can you make a mental note or a note for me, Cosmic, to add Punish Props to the VIP list for the channel? Thanks. All right. How do we feel about this? Sometimes it's just faster. I don't want to wait for the grass. Just so we can have a clean look at what's going on. Yeah, I feel like I need to do something a little bit different. I'm wondering... Grab that. Do 3 there. Five there. And then just follow the same pattern. Yeah, I think I like that better. We could even smooth it out a little bit more. Sorcerer followed. Indigo 661 is followed. Mossy Hoax. That's a fun username. And Big Mac Roberts. I've been thinking programming, so I said in my brain Big Macro. I was like, Big Macro Berts? No, it's Big Mac Roberts. That's how you pronounce the guy's name. Oh, that's funny. How do we want to do this? I know I'm fussing over this stuff, but it makes your life so much easier later on, believe me. I think this just needs to be 7. So 6, 7, which means this could probably be 5. Yeah, that works. I mean, I think we're going to run into some issues when we start to figure out how long this is going to take to, how steep it's going to be with the road. But there's going to have to be some pretty steep parts of it, I think, in order for this to work. Well, this has been a pretty chill landscaping Sunday, I have to say. I think that should just be like this. Okay. That's there. I think I'm happy with that. Yes. Now this one, we're going to have to expand these a little bit, but I like this position right here. So I'm just going to go and find that and replace it with coarse dirt so we can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but we're going to go with 9. Do 5 there. And maybe what we'll do is this. Nope. Wrong thing. So I'm wondering if this point here might be a natural point to put in some water features or something. Do you like the Muppets, Joel? Yes, I do. You've been watching over the pandemic. Nice. It's a great show. A little dated in some places, but I enjoy the Muppet Show. I grew up watching the Muppets. Fun fact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was Jim Henson as a costume career, kind of dress up as someone you wanted to be when you grew up when I was like 10. And I chose Jim Henson. We're not sure where we are here. It is kind of nice today with the stream to not have to worry about like all these little minutia blocks that I've been doing the last few streams, like, you know, trying to decorate the keep and getting everything right, kitchens and stuff like that. It's been kind of cool to just kind of throw things together today. Sleep time. Actually, it might be break time. Let me just check the actual physical time here. 3:13. Oh, we've got time. All right, cool. So I am going to go on another break. If you're new to the channel, as many of you probably are, I take a break once an hour. Need to zap my coffee, give myself a little bit of a stretch. You should too. Go grab some snacks, and we'll be back in about 6 or 7 minutes. All right, let's see what we can finish in the next little bit. Let's see how this looks from above. Yeah, it looks like a weird spider web right now, but I promise you it will end up looking better. But this is the part I think of the road where it's going to be pretty steep. I think this section here is just going to go quite steeply downhill. Got that there. So we need to get down another 2 blocks. Well, 3 blocks, I guess. Yeah. So this is where I think we have to think about what's the minimum distance we want a slab section of the road to be. And I think 3 is like a minimum at most. So we want 6 blocks between each step, full step. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we could go steeper than that, maybe. Maybe 4 blocks. 2, 3, 4. That's actually more in line with what's naturally here. Thanks for all the follows, folks. Wow. Great day for streaming on Twitch. Right, so what we'll do is curve this by probably 2. So we'll come out 1, 2. And here will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can always move the road and stuff later, but 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go 1, 2. Oh, I'm out of coarse dirt. That's not a good thing. Let's, do I have any in here? I do not. Moongirl Art, thank you very much. I'm glad you're learning a few things. I mean, I don't think of myself as like teaching or anything, but if you can pick up some trips that makes life easier, then I've put in a lot of hours in the last 3 years, I have to confess. I need regular dirt, which is in here. And I need gravel, which is in here. Oh, I did have some coarse dirt in there. Second breakfast. Ugh, now I want third breakfast. Octopath Builder? Right. Yeah, it does look like an octopus, doesn't it? The trick is to use something you can see when you're first doing this. Eventually I'll remove it all and it'll just be grass, right? But the idea is that it's just supposed to be like a rolling hillside that goes down. And all the people that are really wealthy in the town are going to live kind of like here and have like little properties into the woods, and they want to be up high to see the river and stuff. I think that would be really cool. It's going to be a lot of work to finish this up, but it'll be worth it, I think, in the end. So you can sort of see what I was doing here with the coarse dirt. Sort of having this curve down. It's not going to be straight lines like that. We're going to have to change it a little bit, but that kind of gives us a marker as to where we're going to be. So I think for here, I might actually move this over by 2 more. And then go out again. It's weird when the biome shifts and the color of the grass changes. I always find that strange. When there's not like a river dividing them, you know? That does not look good at all. Okay, fair enough. Let's try this technique, which I think works better. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, I think that looks good. And then the last one, we'll have to bump this out just a little bit, I think, just to make this work. One, two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how we're doing here. It's a little straight. I think I'd like to push this back a little bit here. So we'll do 3 here. Hail Hydra. Nice. That's funny. Yeah. Oh no. That's the wrong block. You know what? Let's just get rid of these. How does that feel? Nice. Okay. Feels a little, it's a little on the spot, right? It's a little on the nose. We can probably hide this mess here. This mess of like, how do these all connect? Does this look good with a building? Like we could put a building here to cover up most of this. You just kind of want to have them going to roughly a spot, you know, that would make sense. Here, I think we need to actually continue to go out. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go 5 there. Go 5 there. Probably 7 actually. And I think this is a point where we can actually go the other way. Let's see what that looks like. Little too straight, perhaps. So we'll just switch out these and put in an extra 3. You know, this is just something that had to happen, you know, like I just been wondering about what to do about this side of the town forever, and sometimes you just need to take a few hours and rip through some landscaping, and then the next time that you have an idea, you don't have to wait, you know. If I have an idea for a really cool house build, I can just come and make it, you know. I've got the land all figured out. Don't have to come back and like mine a bunch of stuff and place a bunch of dirt blocks. And once you've done this all in a big session, then you can usually get things going a lot faster. Yeah, that is going to be pretty steep through here, isn't it? All right, we need to move this as well. Probably here. I think it'll look really cool though once we have a bunch of houses. You think about this standing down here, that's pretty steep. And if we have a road kind of going up this way, but then you imagine houses on either side of that, you'll have this really cool like little path that goes up here that's got awesome builds on both sides and all kinds of cool stuff, I think. Landscaped. I think I'm going to move the road, though. Let's see. Anything else missing? Judgmental sheep are the worst. Nice. So the way that we had the road going, do I still have stone? I do. I need some more though. Thanks for the lurk, Motto Man. Always good to have you. I do have to wrap things up here in just a few minutes. I just want to see if we can't plot out where the road's going to go. That said, if any of the moderators have any recommendations for who we can raid, because obviously I'm going to pass all you kind people on to another person playing Minecraft. And let's just see here. What do I have? I need rocket box. Let's get food in it. Whoa. I know what we're doing next stream. I think I'm going to switch back to golden carrots. They were a pain in the butt to make, but they're definitely better than chicken. Ah, nighttime. Every time you try to do something. King D, I'm doing great, thank you. We've had a really good stream. I like the new place for the shulker collection. Yeah, me too. It feels safer. I would like to sleep now. Nice little red gem. I see what you did there. Okay, so these cobblestone blocks represent like what I was thinking where the road was going to go. But now that I'm thinking about this view down here, possibly coming from what would be like a dock area, I'm thinking that the road should go a little bit more in this direction. Maybe more like there. Given that the middle of the road is probably, this is probably going to go wider actually. We'll have to see. Well, this might change too. This line might change. But if we're thinking like the middle, we're probably going to go somewhere along like this. This. Walk this way. That way. Goes to there. So this is going to swing wider. I'm just thinking about how it would feel to walk down here. Yeah, probably more along this side. Like that. So it's not hard to lay out roads if you do a rough idea like that. And if you walk it a couple of times and it feels good, then it's probably a good place to start. So we can come down here, and if we're walking down the street, nice view of the mountain that'll be framed by houses, turn around the corner, have a really nice view of the keep. And then we come into what will be a steep section here going right down to the river. And I can't decide which, I think it was the left-hand side. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of these ones. And then this down here could be almost like another little place of business. You know, like if you've got a dock here on the river, which obviously is going to have to be reshaped. We're going to have more room here. I don't think I'm going to use this. I think I'm going to push the river out to be a curve here. So we'll have this whole lower area here to have like maybe a bit of a courtyard or some sort of like market or shops or fancy places or something. You know, imagine fancy goods being brought in by river and the shops are all down there. But I think that's a decent look. We might want to take these two that I'm standing on and maybe bump them over in that direction. Well, that's where all the grass bits are coming from. The sheep is causing brown spots in my terrain. That's hilarious. So we'll do maybe this there. Again, we can mess with that a little bit more as we see fit. Wouldn't mind having at least a little bit of a curve in it, but we'll see. So yeah. As you can see, it gives us lots of room on both sides. Some funky buildings along here. It'll be strange to kind of have them up on different places, but I think it'll be neat to have like the foundations of a house go across the steps. Be kind of cool. Unfortunately, that is all the time that I have for today. Let's give a better vantage point so we can look and see all the hard work that we did. If you've liked the stream and you've enjoyed your time here, then I'd love for you to follow. You'll get a notification the next time that I go live. You can also check out things like the Spawn Chunks podcast and the Citadel Cafe podcast. You can listen to those for free in between streams. The Citadel Cafe is about sci-fi and fantasy entertainment, and the Spawn Chunks is about, surprise, surprise, Minecraft. New episode of that is happening tomorrow with Pixel Riffs. We're going to be talking about the new Snapshot with all of the cool glow berries and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to dive into the Snapshot today, but I will definitely be looking at it at some point between now and recording tomorrow. It just won't be live on stream. You can also check out patreon.com/JoelDuggan. It's the easiest way to support the stream. It is less than 1 cup of coffee per month, and it does mountains for me being able to stream consistently, as well as during the week when I normally have other work that I have to do. If you use your tier 1 or your Prime Gaming sub today, thank you very much. Please be sure to connect your Discord and your Twitch so that you can join the Discord. And incidentally, that Patreon sub I just mentioned, that also gets you access to the Discord. So there's all kinds of ways to hang out with a bunch of nerdy, friendly people all week long in between streams. We have a great time. I think you'd enjoy the Discord, so check that out. That's going to be it for me. We're going to raid somebody, so don't go anywhere, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.